Earth satellites. They should be moving in dead straight trajectories, clicking along. And let us see what, and we have another one there on the lower left coming in. Let's just watch their behavior.
This will go for a while, and there's many strange things in this video.
And this was shot by Columbia, right? From aboard?
I believe so, yes, STS-80.
You know, that thing that just streaked by gives us something to compare to. That's a legitimate little meteorite.
A meteorite, that's what it looks like.
But these things
which are many that people don't see because they burn in the atmosphere. Or micrometeorites, they call them in some
These
cases.
shapes, now look at that. We're milling around, literally. They're stopping. They're changing direction subtly.
It's a huge electrical storm.
Again, that could be several hundred miles below them. And again, it's terrific to have those legitimate meteorites.
And look at now outside of the Earth orbit, outside of the Earth
We've
line
got
there.
Several of those little guys.
There's three. There's another one here.
They seem to not be moving on straight trajectories. Again, the term milling comes to mind. We have a larger one coming up from frame lower right. A lot of unexplained activity up there, folks.
Yeah, this is definitely an interesting tape.
You know, you might want to pick one and just fix on it for a bit. And again, if that is a legitimate Earth satellite, it's just going to click along on its same trajectory. It's not going to stand still. And granted, if they were coming right at us, the illusion would be that it was essentially standing still, but slowly getting larger. And even that doesn't fit into what we seem to be seeing here.
Yeah, they're even like moving away from the Earth now. One of them is.
Yes.
Others are moving into.
Right. They're almost disappearing into.
It's very strange. And this, as opposed to the Discovery tape, which got a lot of attention, this has not gotten much attention.
No, and thank you, Michael, for getting this clip for us, because it really is remarkable.
I think I saw clips of the storms. That was on the news, but cleverly, you know, they left the other stuff out. They just had like a very brief, or might have even been from another mission, but I remember seeing the electrical storms.
Well, it is very dramatic footage. And again, we're seeing those blasts of lightning through cloud cover to a degree. Very dramatic.
Very dramatic, yeah.
Okay, back on Earth.
And back to Mexico City. Where else?
I'll bet we probably have more clips from Mexico on these because of the profusion.
Well, yeah, it's also a thing that sometimes when you have a lot of diffusion, a lot of publicity about it, then people will get motivated, will send the tapes. But who knows? Who knows? I mean, in many countries, we don't have a single tape, at least in this collection, but I'm sure Mike is very diligent, so it means that it was very difficult to get tapes.
Yes.
I think we only finally make it one in China at the very end, and considering it's the largest population in the Earth, it's got to be more videos, but they're not easy to come by, obviously.
And we are now into 1997, so-called the 50th anniversary year of the modern UFO phenomenon.
Modern era, as explained in the credits in the beginning of each segment. That's with the Kenneth Arnold. That's where the term flying saucer comes, and which is sociologically important because whereas before, I'm sure we know from historical record there were UFO reports, but they didn't have a name, so they kind of get lost in the literature.
And again, for those of you that will be delving into the document archive here, for me, 1947 has to be at least one of, if not the most fascinating year of American quiet historical changes.
Yeah, and however, no footage from 1947.
No.
Photos, there are some.
Yes.
But there are about a few photos, but there are some during the flap of 47.
But for those of you that have thought that, well, the military and the intelligence community does not take this seriously, you're in for quite an awakening as you go through this documentation.
Now we go to Chile.
Now, where in Chile is this shot?
This Quilpue, it's in the central region, but towards the beach, towards the seacoast.
Right.
And this was in 97. There were there was a flap with many sightings and quite a few footages, which were collected by a very active ufologist from Chile called Rodrigo Fuensalida. Has a group called ION. That's the acronym for group of investigation of UFO, but in Spanish, and so he's been collecting many of these cases. He's a very serious fellow. He's a sociologist. He works in conjunction with the University of Santiago. We had some symposiums there, as you know, where
is that where you and David Jacobs?
Yeah, spoke? David Jacobs. We went there in '97, same year of these footages, and also in earlier this year, '99, we went with Dr. Bruce Maccabee. And this is Reñaca. This is a beach resort.
Let's tighten up that image.
And just a close-up in the audio track. You can see I think this is it looks like a young couple, a man and a woman, and they're discussing what they're seeing, and I see a UFO, and so on. If you know Spanish, you get to understand, although there's not much description. If you don't know Spanish, you can still get the emotion of what we were talking about, the Hebrew and so on.
Yeah. Okay, Yorkshire, Central England. And we have our classic triangle, it looks like, although that third light seems a bit dimmed.
And of course, there's been tons of triangular sightings in England in the last few years.
And there's a fourth light making this a rectangle.
But yeah, this is not your standard
No, just when you thought you had nailed it down, it's changing.
They call them the flying triangles. They even have an acronym, FTs, and they have catalogs, and probably some military would be my guess. Not this one, but I mean they're flying triangles. Now, this is a very interesting case. St. Petersburg, of course. The second largest city in Russia. And this was a very good case. Multiple witnesses and multiple videos.
Excellent.
And it was seen by, who knows, well, it was late at night, but it was still seen by probably hundreds, if not thousands of witnesses, including people at the control tower.
Yes, that I remember.
And then there was a Navy captain who did compile the report called Pavel Sirchenko. He wrote the report about this case. And there were at least 2 videotapes, maybe more. I'm aware of at least 2. And they're quite good, as you can see, the quality here.
Yeah, and at least we did have a bit of figure ground as they pulled back, and once again, here we are, seeing it as a little dot in the sky against the city. Beautiful old city, too. I was there many years ago when it still was Leningrad. And as we close in, once again, quite a collection of lights.
Yeah, a very, very good case. Again, on that documentary on Channel 4 in England, they did interview the guy from the control tower. They did interview Captain Sirchenko. And they did interview at least one of the guys who took the videotapes. So it's kind of a very well-documented case. He's got all the earmarks of a good case, multiple videos, multiple witnesses.
And credible witnesses. Military backgrounds, air traffic controllers, needless to say, are very valuable as witnesses, especially backing up.
They're the best because they have obviously so much experience in watching aircraft.
And also they, in many cases, are jeopardizing their professional career by having the courage to come forward. This is not the kind of job where you want to sound like you see UFOs every day. And
now this looks very similar to the one in Greifswald. Remember the one in Germany that it was in one of the early tapes?
Yeah, this one is a little more symmetrical, seemingly
less amount of lights.
Yeah, we seem to have a basic 4 lights, a central piece, and 3 evenly radiating out. And it's not anymore.
Yeah.
That's all changed.
And as you can also, this went on for quite a while, as you can tell also.
Well, now they all seem to have lined up pretty much.
Right. Look, more now. The spawning effect of UFOs. I think this is one of the things that comes across on this tape. Yeah. Now we know.
I always thought there was a factory like Detroit somewhere out there on another planet.
No, it's